Early Sunday morning, officers ceremoniously escorted French's body to the medical examiner's office.
This story comes to us from FoxNews.com. Dozens of shooting incidents across Chicago over the weekend left 13 people dead and 73 injured, police said on Monday, August 9th. In the period beginning Friday at 6 p.m. and ending at midnight on Sunday, the Chicago Police Department recorded 54 shooting incidents, statistics show.
Karen, tonight, Chicago police are releasing very little information about what led up to what they're calling a traffic stop that then turned into a deadly shootout, killing a young Chicago police officer. The first panicked calls came over the radio just after 9 Saturday night.
Officer down, shots fired.
Chicago police officers had come under fire. Immediately, it sounded bad.
Officer down, 6-3 in Bell. Officer down, 6-3 in Bell. Give us the unit. I want a perimeter set up at the location.
Police say 3 officers from the community safety team were conducting some kind of traffic stop. Footage from 2 nearby security cameras shows the scene after the attack as first responders arrived. Police say investigators recovered a weapon at the scene.
29-year-old Chicago police officer Ella French was killed and another officer was critically wounded Saturday during an exchange of gunfire with at least one suspect at a traffic stop in the West Englewood neighborhood on the south side. Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown said a male passenger opened fire on police and the officers returned fire.
During the course of this investigation, officers were fired upon and they returned fire. I'm asking Chicago to wrap their arms around our police officers today.
Give me 2 ambulances needed for 2 officers down.
Hundreds of officers amassed outside University of Chicago Hospital to stand guard and pray. Inside, doctors couldn't save Officer Ella French. A little more than 3 years after her police career began, French died in the line of duty. Police say a second officer is struggling to stay alive. Police sources tell the ABC7i team the officer, a 7-year veteran of the department, was shot 3 times and has a bullet lodged in his head.
The second officer, a male who's worked for the department for the past 6 years, remained hospitalized in critical condition. Other incidents that unfolded over the weekend included 2 shootings involving multiple victims, according to reports. In one, a 24-year-old man opened fire after getting into a verbal argument with a 37-year-old man at a lounge in the city's Auburn Gresham neighborhood. That was reported by the Chicago Sun-Times. The 37-year-old man died at a hospital after being struck twice in the neck and 3 times in the back, while the younger 24-year-old, who was struck 8 times throughout the body, is in critical condition. 5 others at the same lounge reportedly were struck in that shooting as well. Yet another incident, a 40-year-old nightclub security guard died after being shot by a suspect who was denied entry into the nightclub. In that shooting, the second guard was reported to be in serious condition after being struck in his back and thigh, while 3 bystanders as well were injured.
Last night, in an emergency room, amongst tears and fears from the finest and the most courageous people I know. A mother lost her daughter last night. A brother, his sister. A family forever shattered. Another continues to keep vigil at a hospital bed, sending up power for prayers, but no doubt fearing the worst.
So the mayor, what she was saying in that earlier press conference few weeks ago, when she said, look, we're doing what we can to make this a safer city. Doesn't look safer to me. Every weekend there's shootings in Chicago. 13 dead. Multiple people injured. It's terrible. But Chicago itself is at war. Not to mention the rest of the United States. We're at war, basically. I know that there's been crime for years, decades in this country. In fact, in California, they've been shooting each other since I was 6 or 7 years old. But it just seems like it's ramped up now. It's multiplied. There are more shootings and police getting shot today, meaning this year, than any other year. I mean, 2020, I know I keep bringing it up, but it keeps getting thrown in our face, like this right here. 13 dead over the weekend. 54 shooting incidents. That's just Chicago. That's not including La Habra, where a police officer was shot outside the police station. That's not including the NYPD, Texas, Colorado, Seattle, all these other, Portland, Oregon, maybe even had an incident or two, who knows. But all these other cities as well. So the United States of America right now is at war. We are like, and I'm not trying to hype it up, we see it in the news, like this right here, 54 shooting incidents just in Chicago. And this is another cry for people to get out there and record the police. When you see the police interacting with people, don't just go, cops. Get your camera out and start recording. I'm not saying you have to drive around and look for cops, but you're driving down the street, you got some extra time, you look over, there's 3 or 4 cops talking to somebody, pull over, get out, go over there and record it. Your camera just might capture the truth. But I've got some more coming for you as well. There's stories coming all week long, but I wanted to give you this one right away. I didn't cover the Phoenix one. Now somebody, actually a couple of people, sent me where the Department of Justice has went into the Phoenix Police Department to investigate the Phoenix PD for corruption and violation against homeless people and so forth, and their use of force tactics. I didn't cover that one because although it's time that the Phoenix Police Department get investigated by the Department of Justice, absolutely. My question was, why not Aurora PD? Why not Denver PD? I mean, Minneapolis, obviously they got looked at. Louisville, Kentucky, hell yeah, it was time for that department as well. But Minneapolis, Louisville, and Phoenix, okay, great. Department of Justice is going through Phoenix, Arizona's police department. What about, like I said, Aurora, Denver, San Antonio, Dallas? And come to think of it, has the DOJ really looked at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department? Or are they just going, nah, Villanueva's got it under control? Yeah, so did the captain of the Titanic. So did General Custer. Yeah, they had it under control too. So they said. What do you all think? Let me know.